balance between reopening and public safety continues. We have the latest on the efforts to get businesses restarted here locally. Plus, Congressman Tom Reed says that he's supportive of both municipal and state aid.
And it's been a wet morning across parts of the southern tier, as you see from the camera from Olean. A little bit more rain to come and cooler temperatures on the way as well. I've got the full forecast next as the news at noon starts right now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. 2 new cases of COVID-19 were reported in neighboring Cattaraugus County yesterday evening. The health department says that the 42nd case is a woman living in the southwest part of the county who had no significant travel history but experienced symptoms of the virus. The 43rd case is a woman who resides in the northwest part of the county who also has no significant travel history and showed symptoms of the virus. The department now has begun contact tracing for both of those cases. There is now 43 confirmed cases, with 13 active, 28 recovered, and 2 deaths. Meanwhile, there was no increase in COVID-19 cases in Chautauqua County Tuesday. Officials say the number of confirmed cases remains at 37, with 4 active, 29 recovered, and 4 previous deaths related to the outbreak. Well, the Democratic primary is back on here in New York State. Yesterday, a judge ruled that the state election will take place next month as planned. Former candidate Andrew Yang and other voters sued after Democrats on the state's board canceled the primary due to coronavirus concerns. The board also removed the candidates who suspended their campaigns from the ballots. Now, that left former Vice President Joe Biden the only name. Board members therefore argued there was no reason to hold a primary with only one candidate, but the judge ruled to reinstate the candidates once again and hold the primary on June 23rd. Now, the primary was originally scheduled for March, but Governor Andrew Cuomo changed that date because of the state's stay-at-home order. Well, President Trump has promised the country will reopen, but experts warn quickly relaxing coronavirus restrictions could cost tens of thousands of American lives. Karen Kaifa has the latest from Washington for us.
In the midst of the coronavirus pandemic, President Trump has one clear goal.
We're going to build the greatest economy in the world again, and it's going to happen pretty fast.
From parks and beaches to retail shops and restaurants, by this Sunday, at least 42 states will have relaxed some coronavirus restrictions.
We're opening up our country again.
Yet health experts have a dire warning. According to one prediction, the country's coronavirus death toll could nearly double if states reopen too soon.
How many deaths and how much suffering are you willing to accept to get back to what you want to be some form of normality sooner rather than later?
A poll from Monmouth University released Tuesday finds nearly 2/3 of Americans are concerned states are lifting regulations too quickly.
And the fundamental question, which we're not articulating, is how much is a human life worth?
President Trump remains confident mitigation efforts will slow the spread of the virus.
They're going to be social distancing, and they're going to be washing their hands, and they're going to be doing the things that you're supposed to do.
Still, governors across the country struggle to find the balance between economic strife and human life.
The faster we reopen, the lower the economic cost, but the higher the human cost, because the more lives lost. That, my friends, is the decision we are really making.
In Washington, I'm Karen Kaifa.
All right, Karen, thank you. The Trump administration has announced the president's COVID-19 task force is expected to be phased out within the next few weeks, although key medical experts on that task force are expected to continue advising him on a daily basis. Well, local municipal aid remains a hot topic during this COVID-19 pandemic, as many, including the city of Jamestown, are already operating on a tight budget. Congressman Tom Reed is now working to advocate for those on the local level. Reed, during his telephone conference with reporters yesterday, says that he's continuing to push for local municipalities as well as states to receive aid.
I am a big proponent of direct local government assistance in this package when we ultimately get to state and local aid. I'm not opposed to state aid, and one of the things that I'm very adamant about when it comes to direct local aid to our local governments is that the governors are not in a position to manipulate from the state capitals those budget lines that they typically do even outside of the COVID-19 crisis, so that the commitments made to the local governments are maintained and the efforts that the state has promised to deliver to our local governments are continued and maintained going forward.
Now, last week, Reed explained his disagreement with the U.S. Senate Republican Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, who wants certain states and communities to declare bankruptcy to bail themselves out. Well, a local brewery is donating 100% of its hand sanitizer proceeds to local food banks. Southern Tier Distilling Company, who pivoted their production to produce alcohol-based hand sanitizer amid this pandemic, has so far donated over $5,000 to Feed More WNY, a group who helps the St. Susan Center here in Jamestown. Company officials say since March, they have sold nearly 1,000 4-ounce hand sanitizer bottles. Business leaders say to purchase the locally made hand sanitizer, all you have to do is visit stdcspirits.com. Well, hopefully everyone is having a good day, and we thank you for joining us here on WNY News Now as we continue to put facts over fear in our coverage of COVID-19, the novel coronavirus. Got to say hello to Lewis. Thanks so much for joining us here on the broadcast. Hello to David. Good to see you. Good to see Mike as well. We thank you all so much for joining us today. Let's switch gears now and get a check of our First Defense weather forecast, and that's where we find Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter. Happy Wednesday to you, Mr. Hunter.
Happy Wednesday, Jay, and happy Wednesday to all of you watching us right now. And we had a few rain and snow showers early this morning. We still have a few, just a little bit left of it. It's mainly out in Cattaraugus County, moving out into Allegheny County right now. Once you peek back to the west, it's mainly all dry right now. A lot of this has ended, but yeah, wouldn't you know it, colder temperatures are on the way once again for tonight. The National Weather Service has issued a frost advisory for Chautauqua County and points northward. This starts tonight at 1 a.m. and goes until tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. And what this means is that temperatures are going to be dropping into the lower 30s again inland away from the lakeshore areas. And we're talking frost developing once again. So as you season planners know, frost can harm any plants that are sensitive to temperatures. So if you've planted anything you want to bring them indoors or just cover them up tonight and hope for the best here with the frost here. 51 was the high yesterday. 37 is where we bottomed out this morning. Look at the high temperature on this date back in 1959, 89 degrees. That's the record high, and 21 set back in 1987, even before my time, and I'm old as dirt. Anyway, 44 to 52 through the day today. An early wintry mix tapers off through the afternoon. We may see a few peaks of sunshine later this afternoon. Otherwise, mostly cloudy, still cold with a brisk breeze coming out of the north at 7 to 19 miles per hour. Much colder air for the end of the week. We'll break it all down in just a few minutes. Justin?
All right, Dakota, thank you very much. Coming up next, how a local contest is aiming to support businesses in our community and reward those who shop local. Stay with us as WNY News Now continues.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you. This is Christine Schuyler, Chautauqua County Public Health Director, with a very important message. We need you to make every effort to protect yourselves and our healthcare workers. If you absolutely don't need to go out, don't. If you have a mild cold or flu-like symptoms, with or without a fever, stay home. If your symptoms are severe, call your healthcare provider. Do not go to the emergency room or urgent care. Do not call 911 or go to the ER unless you are experiencing a life-threatening emergency. The best ways you can help prevent the spread of COVID-19 are to wash your hands often with soap and water, cover your cough, avoid close contact with others. Please stay home.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Welcome back to WNY News Now. Last month, the Chautauqua County Chamber of Commerce launched a new online contest that rewards shoppers of local businesses during this COVID-19 pandemic. Joining us on the broadcast now to talk more about how this contest aims to reward those who shop local is Joanna Dahlbeck with the Chautauqua County Chamber of Commerce. Joanna, great to have you here today.
I'm really happy to see you again, my friend.
So, same here. First, since we talked weeks ago when the contest launched, how have things been going so far with it?
Well, it's ramping up a little slower than I'd like to see, but quite frankly, we're adding new participants daily. Right now, we have about 20 different businesses, mostly restaurants, a couple retailers, that are participating in our CHQ Cash Dash. What we're aiming to do is feature a business once a week. We do it Thursday through the following Wednesday. Tomorrow we will launch a new list. Well, it's out there for Jamestown, of places where you can go and dash a business, we ask you to spend at least $20, which is not that much these days for to-go food, and take a picture of your food, post it on your Facebook live feed, and hashtag CHQ Cash Dash. And then once we get a few on there, I'm hoping to see at least 10 this week, photos with the Cash Dash and hashtag. And I believe we will have a $25 gift certificate to give away to one of the local establishments that you'll be able to use at any time. And these are being donated by those participants.
And really, this is such a revolutionary program, I think, during this time, because a lot of these small businesses are struggling, and for some of them, this is their only form of income, is having customers come through their shop, right?
Yeah. And everyone is the first few weeks really testing the water and seeing how they could handle it. Quite frankly, a couple of the places that we've dashed were overwhelmed, and they learned a lot about how they need to handle their transactions, without having contact with people and getting the delivery to the door for the pickup or so on and so forth. It's really, it's awesome to watch all the people that are working together. And I got to give a big shout out to those employees that are sticking around with their owners and really just going in tooth and nail and trying to help. And it's very heartwarming. I've been to at least 3 different establishments on the Cash Dash and just overwhelmed with how great the service is and the food quality and the amount of food that you're getting for a really reasonable price. And don't forget to tip your servers, in some way as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're actually looking at the pic that I posted on Friday when I partook in Cash Dash by visiting Sauce, which is one of my local favorites here in downtown Jamestown. And actually, if I'm correct, are they the member today for Cash Dash?
Actually, today we have, you know what? I think it is today. Yes, and it is Wednesday. You can order through them, and I believe they still are offering $2 bottle beer to go, along with their normal, whatever they're serving. Thursday is going to be the Good Time Saloon dinner for two with drinks for $23.95. That is a cash only. One that's really cool that just came on is the Dipson Theater in Lakewood. You go to their website, which is dipson.theaters.com/shop, and you can buy a $25 gift card and receive a free 5-gallon bag of popcorn. You can order that anytime between now and 10 p.m. on Thursdays. And this is a rolling thing. It'll happen every week. And then you just swing by the theater between 4 and 6 and you pick up your gift card and your popcorn, and then you have it for the weekend.
And I actually have a confession to make with that. My mother purchased one of those giant bags of popcorn, and she sent me a couple scoops of it, and I killed those bags off so fast. It's just, you miss that type of feel because once a month, my girlfriend and I would go to the movies because we just like to go to watch, and part of it's that popcorn experience.
Exactly. And, I don't care. You can buy the microwave, or we even have a pot that you shake it in and all that stuff. It's just not the same. You got to have the real stuff.
Yeah, I agree with you there. So if a business is out there and they want to be added to this list, say they were closed down for a little while and now they're going to start to try to reopen, what's the best way that they can get involved?
I actually do have one of those situations right now. You'll be happy to know that Group They're Happy in Lakewood they are going to reopen, and they will be, I'm working on getting them into the loop with a cash stash. But all you got to do is you can, I assume you'll post my email, send me an email, and I will send you the link to fill out a very short Google form. And we just need to know what your arrangements are as far as pickup and if it's delivery, if there's an offer. And you can pick the day and the time that you want to be dashed. So you don't have to do it, when we say, but you have a range, you have a pick of the whole week. And we do run it Thursday to Wednesday every day or every week. And that's how we're doing it. Use my email at this point. And if you can't find it, go to chautauquachamber.org, and you can look it up there as well. I'm going to have to sneeze.
And bless you.
Thank you.
And what are the big things too? I would imagine for a lot of people in the community during this time is really, since they've issued those restrictions. Now, granted, many restaurants are considered to be essential because they are food services. There are people out there who maybe don't get food or make food at home, certain situations. But they still have been open, and supporting these local venues in any way that we can has been urged since the beginning. In regards to just generally here in the community, supporting local shops, I know you mentioned one of them was overwhelmed because of the cash dash.
Yes.
What's the sense when you call and talk to these businesses? How are they doing?
They're doing well, really. Another one is 3C's Catering. They have the chicken barbecue on Sunday down in Falconer. And my husband actually went and picked up chicken the other day on Sunday, and he was the 19th car in line to do the drive-through, and there were cars lined up behind him, and I think they cooked 160 chickens, and they sold out in like an hour and a half or less. And I'm sure they're going to be adding more food, but it's great. It's great. And there's nothing better than a chicken barbecue. I don't care if you can make it at home or not,
Right. Absolutely. And I imagine they're probably real thankful too for the folks who do come out to support them.
Oh yeah. And you do get to see people. Even if you're sitting in your car, you recognize somebody and you can send a wave, and you don't have to have your mask on in your car, so you can smile. And
right.
Say, hey, how you doing?
Right.
But the thing is to take that picture, post it online with the hashtag CHQ Cash Dash. That's the only way we're going to keep track of people that will be eligible to perhaps win that gift card.
Absolutely. And that gift card, that's up to $25 now?
Yeah, and we may have some more secrets out there. I
All
can't
right.
divulge right now.
All right.
have
Joanna
some fun.
Dahlbuck with the
We'll have some
Chautauqua
fun.
County Chamber of Commerce joining us today. Thank you so much for being here. I really
Hey,
look forward to seeing this going forward because it's great to see all these local businesses being supported.
I want to support one more business. This is
Yeah.
really important, especially with Mother's Day being this Monday. Fresh and Fancy Flowers. They're at 9 Eagle Street in Fredonia. They are having curbside pickup tomorrow between noon and 4. You do have to call them. It's 716-673-1911. They have special flowers for Mother's Day. I am not aware of any other florist in the area that has a supply of flowers. We made an order last night and are picking up a dozen pink roses for my cousin's mother who's here, and he's on Long Island. So he wants to honor his mama, and I go over and pick them up and then deliver them to her, and maybe I'll pick up some chocolates too.
Yeah, absolutely. And certainly with Mother's Day on Sunday, hopefully everyone does have a gift, but if they don't yet.
Oh, and just go pick her up a chicken dinner on the way too and take it to her.
Yeah, there you go. I'm sure that she would absolutely love that. So, Joanna, thanks so much for being here. I love having you. We'll talk soon.
Very soon.
Yeah. Now let's get a check of our weather forecast with Dakota. Hey, Dakota.
Well, last Friday I did support a local business. I had Davidson's for dinner last Friday. There's nothing like a Davidson's fish fry on Fridays to soothe the soul. 37 degrees was the low this morning, 40 in Dunkirk, 43 over in Erie. So it was not as chilly as it was in past nights, but yeah, it's going to be getting cold once again. Here's a live look from atop of the Doubletree Hotel. Just clouds around downtown and traffic going across Washington and Main Streets. 42 is our current temperature at noon hour with an east wind to 7 and the wind chill is down to 38 degrees. So it's still going to remain chilly throughout much of this week. Actually, throughout the next several days going into next week, it looks like temperatures are not going to really respond at all here. So temperatures this afternoon, upper 40s, maybe a few lower 50s once you work down to northwestern Pennsylvania, but otherwise most of us will stay below average with a few clouds around throughout the afternoon, maybe a few peaks of sunshine as well. Let's take you through Future Scan. It really doesn't show you anything through the afternoon. All that rain and snow shower activity that we had will taper off. Nothing through the night tonight. It'll actually clear out tonight. That is the reason why we have that frost advisory in effect, because with a clearing sky and temperatures dropping to below freezing, that will allow some frost to develop. But tomorrow, we'll start to get into a chance for a few rain and snow showers, mainly early tomorrow. Then we should get into mainly rain showers for the afternoon hours tomorrow, and that all moves out of here. But we still keep a chance for a few scattered rain showers on Friday. So keeping up here, why has it been so cold here? Well, what's going on here is the jet stream goes like this. It flows west to east. That's mainly how our weather flows, west to east with the jet stream. But it's digging deep down into the continental 48. That's called a trough. When the jet stream digs deep, that's called a trough, and that brings in that colder air coming in from Canada. So that is the reason why it has been so cold around here, and it will stay that way as that trough basically just continues to send in wave of colder air. Again, there's that frost advisory mainly for Chautauqua County and points northward. This starts 1 a.m. tonight and goes until 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, mainly for Chautauqua County, the inland areas away from the lake shore. Temperatures will drop to the lower to mid 30s. And again, all you planters know frost can often harm and kill sensitive vegetation. So if you have any plants outdoors that are sensitive to temperatures, cover them up or bring them inside. This is a cool graphic we created. I'm a fan of game shows, so this is called Weather Password. The password, looking down the road, is frigid. And this is something we mentioned yesterday. We have a chance of setting record low maximum highs on Saturday. That's the lowest observed high temperature for Saturday the 9th. The record currently stands at 42 degrees, set over 100 years ago in 1902. We're forecasting 36. If we are right with this and we hit anywhere below 42 degrees, we are going to have the coldest May 9th on record, dating all the way back to 1890. That is when weather records started being kept at the Jamestown airport. Yeah, so hope you haven't put those winter jackets away. Next 7 days of your life are here on the screen. 53 tomorrow, 41 on Friday. Another chance for mixed precipitation as another storm system heads our way, mainly to the south. That trough digs a little deeper in, sends more colder air in over the weekend. 36 record low highs possible if we're right with this. Mother's Day, cold but mainly dry. Monday, it stinks. 47 degrees with a few rain and snow showers. I wanted to use another word, but that's not, but I don't think that's broadcast appropriate. And Tuesday, not any better. 46 degrees, though, with partial sun at times. Justin? And we will be right back.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
This is PJ Wendell, Chautauqua County Executive, with an important message. We are in the midst of a global pandemic, and it is inevitable that there will be cases of COVID-19 in our community. We are preparing for this reality and how it will affect our county. I'm greatly concerned about the economic impact that the closure of local businesses is having on our owners, operators, and employees, but we need to make every effort to protect our residents and our healthcare workers. These strategies decrease the opportunity for people to be in close contact with each other and spread disease. If you absolutely do not need to go out, please don't. Thank you.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Not tomorrow, but right now on the WNY News Now mobile app. Follow local news as it happens.
The mother of a special education student at Maple Grove High School is speaking out.
And stay informed with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network.
And Lake Erie is covered in less than 1% of ice as this winter season has entered its peak.
Download the WNY News Now app right now. It's free on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Well, get this, a new survey shows that working from home actually tends to increase productivity. YouGov, in partnership with USA Today and LinkedIn, questioned 2,000 professionals ages 18 to 74. Now, 54% of those who responded say that working from home during this coronavirus pandemic has actually had a positive effect on their productivity, citing no commute, fewer distractions from coworkers, and even fewer meetings. But the survey also found that just about half of the respondents felt lonely while working from home. I could see how that certainly could add to it. And even though your coworkers might not be distracting you, the dog or maybe your significant other could. So certainly kind of difficult. I have missed one guy throughout this whole COVID-19 pandemic, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter. We don't see much of each other. I know, I feel like, I don't mean to complain, but I feel like we've said this quite a bit here, buddy, that throughout COVID-19, because of office social distancing, I don't see you and hang out with you as much as we used to. We tend to have lunch together, and now it's like, I got to stay away.
Yep, I mean, you know, I'm secluded in the weather office. That's where I stay most of the day. Jay stays in the newsroom most of the day. I mean, it's like, you know, we really don't see each other minus this show.
Right now.
And it's virtual because, you know, if you've never been in our studio before, the weather office is actually secluded away from the main broadcast studio. So it's like, you know, I'm over here in the weather office and Jay's over here in the studio. But hey, you know what? We look sexy on television. 30 to 38 tonight, becoming mainly clear. Frost develops by the morning. That's why I just moved on. But it's a rather cold night, so cover up those plants or bring them inside, Jay.
Dakota, we're too sexy for this program.
Too sexy for my shirt. We're too sexy for this show, Jay.
Just way too much.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Woo!
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're going to have to do the close. I can't do it.
News continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com and also on the mobile app. Please stay safe. We'll see you right back here tomorrow at noon if we don't get canceled.
Too much. Thanks, Dakota.
There you go. Woo!